we've done a lot of gaming stuff, among other things, and I decided I was going to copy around what I've seen from other YouTubers who also do similar stuff to me and read some Reddit posts. So I've looked through and I found a few that are a good start for me to share with you guys. And if you like it in the end, like and subscribe, you know what to do. We're not newbies to YouTube or to channels. Anyway, so our first one is, am I the butthead, for not agreeing to work for free on my partner's rental property business? I mean, I guess it would depend, right? Let's see what I can give my 2 cents worth in, because why not? My partner and I have been okay, so is this partner like business partner? Because if that's the case, it's messed up. If it's partner like boyfriend or girlfriend, then that also depends on the kind of relationship you have and what you want to do work-wise and what they want to do work-wise with you. Anyway, my partner and I have been together for 3 years. During this time, I have helped him on remodeling some of his rental properties and other property management tasks. Okay, so you've kind of been under the table without getting paid, it sounds like. He helped me repair my home after a major flood incident. I would say up until this point, our work for exchange has been fairly equal to slightly tipping the scale in his favor. Okay, well, up until this point, so we should read on instead of thinking. He recently decided to completely gut and remodel one of the rental homes. This project is expected to take about 6 months or more. We anticipate remodeling several of the properties over the next few years. This is going to be a significant time and labor investment. True. We have talked about marriage and what a prenup might look like. Excuse me. He has been clear in that he wants to keep his rental properties as separate property if we were to get married. Okay. So far, that seems like a fair deal. I mean, if he had the business before you got together, yeah. Separate from me and his estate planning / will, and that everything would go to his siblings. What if you have kids? Never mind. This has been alarming to me and quite hurtful. I understand he doesn't want to lose assets in the event we divorce, but I truly don't understand the estate side of things. Yeah, because estate would go to your... Is it a trust thing? Like he thinks you'd sell it, or... This detail makes a difference because we have a 13-year age gap. Oh, okay, so there's 13-year age gap between them. And he would likely pass before me. Probably. If that's a pretty decent age gap, I mean. I have told him that if he wants to keep the rental business separate, that's fine. But I will no longer be volunteering my time to his business. Basically, that I will not be his free labor slave girl to enrich him and his family. If he wants me to come work on remodeling the properties, he will need to pay me as if I am an employee. I told him my pay rate would be about $20 an hour, which is more than fair, depending on the state you live in. For labor on remodeling places and like gutting and stuff, yeah, that's completely fair. I have also suggested he call on his family to come help him. I'm firm on this boundary right now. He's becoming resentful on my position on this. He believes that me helping him benefits both of us. I have asked him how it benefits both of us, and he really can't quantify how it benefits me in any way. We have totally separate finances. I'm on board to be a partner and teammate, but what he expects doesn't really look like a partnership to me. So am I the asshole for not agreeing to work on his rental property business for free? 1 second, let me get a sweatshirt. So before I give my feelings, the overall consensus is that they're not the asshole. In my opinion, that's a good consensus because to me, she's not the asshole. He or she, we can't guess. because there is no benefit to her. If they were to get married, and it sounds like they have been talking about it. If they were to get married, I get wanting to keep your stuff separate, church and state. If there's a divorce, you don't want, to have her end up getting that, because that is your sense of livelihood. That's fine. The fact that if you were to get married and, you were to one day get hurt and, you go in a car accident, whatnot, there is no backup plan for her if you were married. So everything you have would go straight to your siblings. What if you one day have children? What if, that's about it. Your kids would get nothing. They would have no backup plan. So why is she working for free when the partner isn't giving her a reason to even work with him? None of the rental properties in the case of his will and estate, that doesn't benefit her in any way. So why bother doing it if... Am I even making sense? I don't feel like it. Why bother with, helping to fill up the purse strings of, his siblings and him when she's not going to get anything out of it? There's no money involved for her. There's no property involved, so there's nothing there. Why put in your time and effort to help keep this working if you're not going to give her a reason? That would be like walking into a store saying, I'm gonna work, you're gonna pay me. Not shit. I am going to work for this business completely, give all my time, give all my effort and mental health and wellness, only for me to turn around and get nothing in return. No skills, nothing. She's been doing this for free the whole time. That's fine. But all she's saying is, if you're going to marry me and give me nothing if something were to happen to you, seriously, the most I'm asking is for $20 an hour. For a thing like this, property for like flipping houses and renting them out, blah, 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 $20 an hour is nothing to snuff at. It's not a low budget, or a low pay, but it's also not extremely high. And for most contractors, they would expect more. She's saying $20 an hour. She could have asked for a whole salary instead of hourly. Rhymed. So all in all, to me, she ain't an asshole. To me, she's being completely fair. And the general consensus looks like it's following. Let's see what our comments have to say. So here we have one that says, they're not the asset, or the asshole, the asset. Sorry, I was reading on. This person says, does he expect your house would remain as your sole asset? Or would remain solely as your asset? Sorry, my brain is not working. Just curious, it sounds like he doesn't really view you as an equal partner. If he would leave his assets to his siblings in your marriage. This is something I would really want to discuss and agree on before marriage. Hell, I would want to agree on it before the ring. I would have agreed on it before you even started working with him to begin with. So OP says, yes, my house would remain my house and his homes would remain his. The whole estate thing is definitely a huge red flag for me. Right. Another comment, age gap and farting you over after death. What a prince. Definitely the man I'd marry. Yeah, to me, this is all a big red flag. It would be like when I married my ex-husband and he said, I get everything and you get nothing. That's basically all he's telling you. We get married, you keep your house, but everything else belongs to me. That's it. Good to go. Honestly, I would leave him. He expects you to be his primary caretaker without being his primary beneficiary. This is bigger than his remodeling, landlording, house flipping business. Whoever is his primary beneficiary would be responsible for taking care of him when he is ill in his old age. If he wants that to be his siblings, fine. But you should really clarify this now. If he expects you to take care of him in old age, he needs to pay you for that labor in some way. So granted, to me, in this case, it would be a labor of love. But still, if he expects... The hat behind me just scared me. I forgot I had the friend's hat up. If he expects you to be his primary caregiver if he were to get hurt or get seriously ill, not necessarily that he needs to pay you for that, but if he's asking for that, then you need to be his sole primary beneficiary, especially if, as I have said before, sorry, I'm closing my blinds because it's getting dark out and there's no need. As I said before, especially if, you have kids. What's he going to expect? The kids are just going to, if he were to die and the kids were, 2 and 3, how are you going to support them if he has given everything to Jimmy Bob and Fredjin? Fredjin is not a name, but it is now. Anyway, the rest of this comment says, if you perform the labor without being his equal partner, you have been reduced to nothing more than an employee. If you have been reduced to nothing more than an employee but are not receiving payment, you have been reduced to an unpaid servant. I believe the correct word is slave, but didn't want to use such a strong word without being sure. No, you're right. It would be no different than back in the cotton era, the slave trade. Someone else said, no, not slave, FFS, not a slave for fucking sure. OP can leave at any time or refuse to do any project as OP is doing. It's more like an indentured servant. I mean, yeah, potato. Commenter goes, yes, indentured servant is the term I was looking for. Thank you. So yeah, all in all, every comment on here, who gets your house in your will? Since you're renting it out and have been living with him for a while, your house is essentially your rental property. Whatever becomes the rule on who has willed the rentals will need to work for both ways. Someone goes, huh? That's not even, is that the same person? No, what the hell? They had a different account apparently. So I've asked him how it benefits both of us, and he really can't quantify how it benefits me in any way. Oh, someone was quoting it. Never mind, I'm stupid. Don't give up. Insist on this until he gives a clear, detailed answer, but you already know what the answer is. Definitely red flag. I wouldn't want to be in this relationship. Not the asshole. He's going to profit on these properties, and you aren't. Why would you work for free? You will never see the rewards of your free work. If he's going to will these properties to his siblings, you might want to look at an exit strategy from this relationship. He wants you to work for free and is not willing to make sure you're taken care of if he passes it before you. So, yeah, all in all, babe, you are not the asshole, okay? This is fucked up. This is narcissistic behavior, in my opinion, and I have had my fair share of narcissism in my life from people. You are correct. Not the asshole. In my opinion, get out now. And if he starts shit about you working for free, whatnot, sue him. If you plan to keep up this relationship, sue him. Because in this case, you're working for free. You deserve the damn reward, girl. You are working for him. Yeah. So our next one is, I mean, I would have done this too. Am I the asshole for telling a friend of our, telling a member of our friend group that she's a brat? I mean, I've told my friend she's a brat before, but I was a kid. Also, I've known her since I was 11, and I still tell her that. Hell, I told my boyfriend the other day, you're being a brat, because he was being a turd. I have a group of lady friends who plan regular get-togethers. Most of us are connected through Carla, not her real name, obviously, who is our unofficial matriarch. She plans the events. They are usually at her house, and when we do trips out of town, she pays for the Airbnb on her card, and we pay her our portion. The most recent upcoming trip has an indoor pool. We go do these parties and pretty much let loose. There's drinking and shenanigans. Shenanigans! And we're silly as fuck. Okay, and? To be clear, we're old ladies. Most of us are moms and about half of us are grandmas. Okay, so you're mature, and when you are together and you have your party, your thing, you guys just kind of cut loose. Gotcha. Carla asked how the group would feel if her grandbabies came for a swim in the morning. We established some guidelines, like not just Carla's grandkids could be invited, but only toddlers can come for the swim, and they had to be brought by a female or female presenting. This is a ladies' weekend after all. Okay, yeah. There would be a strict time frame, and we didn't plan on curtailing our behavior, so fair warning, I guess. The group was divided, some feeling like they would feel stifled, and it would change the whole vibe. I mean, yeah, I can understand that, being that you guys like to let loose, and then now you're just bringing these kids, and they're like, haha, now we're gonna have to reel it in. Whole vibe. Others feel like a morning time would not interfere with the craziness, and it would be fun. I suggested that we do a vote and majority rule. Okay, so far it sounds fair as hell to me. I mean, you're saying we all get to vote for this. You're saying, here's the boundaries. You have set strict guidelines. Here's where I might be the asshole. Okay. When the verdict was in, one person, we'll call her Jen, said she was out. She didn't want to come because the vote didn't go her way. I told her she was being a You didn't just say brat. I told her she was being a spoiled brat. I've said this to my sister I don't know how many times growing up. And that she was having a childish petty tantrum just because she wasn't getting her way. Yeah, okay. Jen told me she didn't want to pay for something when she didn't agree with the way things went, and that I should respect her boundaries. This isn't the first time that Jen has said or done something sideways, but it is the first time I called her out. Now I'm wondering if I'm being the one, or if I am the one being petty. So Reddit, am I the asshole? No. Honestly, no. You called her a brat. It's not like you went out and were like, you're a bitch. You said, hey, you being a spoiled brat. And in this case, yeah, for someone who is either a mother or a grandmother, either way, you are a mature adult and you are sitting there throwing a baby-sized fit because the vote didn't go your way. Y'all agreed on the terms. Y'all agreed on the vote being a majority rule, and now you're throwing a tantrum because the vote didn't go your way. Jen, you's a brat. You are a brat. And I'm not talking the big head skinny thing with the pop-off leg dolls. I'm saying you're a spoiled ass brat. Not the asshole tits. This was posted 4 hours ago, by the way. So we might not have a whole bunch of comments, but we'll look. So someone said, you're the asshole. You're bringing a weird energy to this. Jen does not want to attend an event with children. She bowed out. So here's the thing with that. They said the children would be there for a little bit, probably come in, swim, and leave. Hopefully. They're not saying, it's in the morning. So if you're drinking in the morning, yeah, it's a rocky subject. For two, in my opinion, you're not the asshole. In this guy's opinion, they are a colorectal surgeon. I'm assuming that's their flair. Someone said, why would this be, the same person goes, why would this be an occasion for name calling? It just doesn't make any sense. These are girls' weekends, not hostage situations. again, to me, the OP responded with, I can see that. Okay. They said, I can see that point of view. Her backing out does not affect everyone, though, because we absorb the cost of her portion. It works out to cost each of us an extra $50. To be clear, Jen is the only one who backed out, even though the vote was pretty close. So she is the only one with an issue with the way the vote went. Yeah, the vote was a close one, but someone commented, you're not entitled to her money if she no longer wants to attend because the plan has changed. That's the risk of changing the plans. She's not making trouble. She's not asking you to change your mind. She's simply choosing not to attend. That's not bratty. It's actually incredibly mature. What you're doing, on the other hand, bullying her because of her choice, inconveniences you financially. Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I've been watching a lot of Letterkenny lately, and my brain is going off. Yeah, in this case, I could see that point of view as well. She's stepping out, and y'all are like, it's an extra $50. But then again, you guys had planned this prior. You changed a little bit. This is an extra $50 that you may not have budgeted in. So I can see that understanding as well. I understand that. Thanks for being kind about it. This is from OP. While I personally am not bothered by the extra cost, it is the tangible thing that affected the group. I think what I was more upset about was that she would allow Carla a couple hours with her grandbabies. I suppose everyone that voted against said they didn't like the idea, but Jen's the one who put her foot down. I reacted. So yeah, I am seeing the asshole part of this. I get it. I get it now. Originally, I was like, yeah, you're being a shit. But after looking it over and hearing the other parts of it, she is being... But the thing is, okay, you budget. You do this trip. Your friend pays, Carla pays with her money, and y'all give in. So what the OP is originally saying with payment wise is that they all budgeted so and so amount for this trip, and in budgeting for said trip, you say, okay, well, for my monthly expenses, it's, this, and this. And for my trip, I'm setting aside $800. Now Jen is stepping out. That's an extra $50 that y'all didn't plan on losing, so everyone's got to kind of shift things around. However, I can understand the issue of this is a time for you guys to let loose, to have fun, to, be you. And all of a sudden, these plans change because the person who is originally paying and you're paying back after the fact is saying, I want my grandkids to come. Now, the part that nobody is judging in on here is it's not just Carla's grandchildren. They're saying for this one part of the day, this morning time swim, Carla can have her grandkids. Jimmy could have her grandkids. Jamie, not Jimmy. I don't know. There could be a girl named Jimmy. Freddie over there, Frankie, Franny, Farty, Flurpy, can have her kids over for this 1 2-hour block of the day. And then they leave, they go home, and y'all can finish your trip. That's what I'm not seeing, is it's like, it's one thing that Jen was like, oh, whatever. I don't think you're an asshole, but apparently the catharsis is that you are. So, whatever, hon. You gotta go your own way. All right, this one was posted 21 hours ago. Am I the asshole for not sharing my lottery winnings from a white elephant gift? So for those of you who don't understand what a white elephant gift is, basically, here's Christmas. you get a Secret Santa. But as a joke, you know, you're trading gifts and you don't know what they are. Most of them are joke gifts. They're not like, oh, here's a special present. No, they're jokes. Most of the time. So, the recent family Christmas party was at my 22 male house. Okay, so they're a 22-year-old male. Was at my house this year, and about 25 people showed up. Okay. The traditional game this year was White Elephant. Hold on, y'all. Just so I know what I'm... The definition of a white elephant gift is a humorous, impractical, or unwanted gift that is often considered difficult to get rid of, stemming from the idea of a king in Siam, now Thailand, giving white elephants to people he disliked, forcing them to bear the expensive burden of caring for the animal. Essentially, the gift is more trouble than it's worth. So, in that case, that they got a lottery ticket as their white elephant gift. My family plays the dice version with some house rules for context. The rules are: anyone who doesn't have a gift by the end of the game will receive $10 as a gift. Okay, fair. Trading gifts is allowed only with a $10 consolation gift. Okay. So from the sounds of it, it sounds like you have a $10 limit, maybe, but I could be wrong. The game had a total of 40 gifts. I ended the game with 4 gifts, and 4 family members ended with none. Ooh, that's $40. My gifts were a space heater, windshield wipers, a 20-pound gummy bear, and a $50 Starbucks card. I'm assuming that's the gifts they were giving out, or are those the gifts you ended up with? Of the 4 people without gifts, 3 of them got rejected, meaning only 1 trade was made. My cousin, a 26-year-old female, ended with $50 worth of lottery tickets, but assumed they'd be worth nothing. And I don't go to Starbucks. So did they... Oh, we couldn't trade because of the rules above, and argued that the gift cards and lottery tickets had numerical value, like the $10 gifts, so they should be tradable. The family agreed, and more gift cards were exchanged. Okay. Trading ended, and people began using their gifts, so I went to put my gifts back in my room and a quarter to scratch the 5 $10 tickets. Okay. I see that. Okay, I got you, babe. Well, yeah, because it's a $50 gift card and $50 $10 tickets, so that does make sense, but okay. Oh, because they said $10 consolation gift, where... Okay, to me, I feel like you're trading $10 or your equal amount of money. Anyway, I wasn't expecting to win anyway, as I thought that scratching the second about to move on to the third, I did a double take as I realized I'd won $25,000. Holy ass! For a second, I thought they were fake, but my grandma, who is an 82-year-old female who bought them, wouldn't do that. I sat in my room for a bit and decided to keep quiet about it, knowing how some family members might react. True. I thought about how to tell them throughout the party. When they asked, I said no, and then I threw them out. Okay. So when they asked if you won, got it. The next day, which was the 29th, okay, so they did this all on the 28th. Gotcha. I asked my mom, a 58-year-old female, to come with me to cash the lottery tickets. She was surprised and, of course, and told me that I needed to go to the casino. Jeez, wow. My brother, who's 28 male, thought it was funny and tagged along. He proceeded to post snaps of me being handed $100 bills in the casino. Although I told him not to say anything because of the commotion it would cause, and that I'd share some with the family, he posted it anyway. So it's your brother's fault all in all. Gotcha. An hour passes, and I'm pulled into a group chat of people from the party, plus family members that couldn't make it. I said I'd give everyone who came to the party $250 and thought it... And wait, I said An hour passes. I'm pulled into a group chat of people from the party, plus other family members that could not make it. I said I'd give everyone who came to the party $250 and thought I was being selfish. The people in the group chat thought you were being selfish, or you thought you were being selfish with that? Because to me, that's not selfish. Anyway, for 30-ish people that attended, that's $7,500 right there. Right? I felt that was fair. Yeah, it's about fair. Family members who weren't there argued that they shouldn't be excluded. Others argued that $250 isn't enough if I have $25,000. After about 30 minutes of arguing, I was pissed. I gave up negotiating, and I told everyone that I'm sorry that you're not happy with what your white elephant gifts this year, and that the rule was that all trades are final. Dude, if that's the rule, that's the fucking rule. Deal with it. All sales are final. I kept all the money. I put $15,000 in my savings and invested the rest. Smart move, bro. Many of my family members are still upset with me, even as far as calling me cruel and heartless. I told them that if $250 isn't enough from a $100 limit, they're the selfish ones. Yeah, you're doubling what they had. Am I the asshole? Extra note that no household or individual family member is struggling financially. So everyone's set money-wise. It's not like, oh, I need food for my kids, or, you know, I'm about to get kicked out of my apartment. They're just greedy, is what he's saying, he or she. So OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. They kept the lottery winnings from a Christmas gift instead of sharing some with the family. It might make them an asshole because other families said they need some money and can benefit from the money much more than I can by myself. Some family members could also use the money to pay debts or bills, which I have none of. Okay. So someone goes, that's why my personal rule is I never give lottery tickets as any sort of gift, because if you lose, people are like, ha ha ha, you lost, but you get nothing for your gift. And if you win, everybody wants a piece of it, even if it's your money. You don't need to share it with anybody, and you will never make anyone happy because they all want more. And if you end up with more than them, they all want more. And if you end up more than them, they will think you are being greedy. Sorry, my brain farted. Nobody wins in that way. Also, your brother was a super huge asshole for posting it online, knowing there was going to be an issue. You offered to be nice, and everybody said it wasn't enough free money, so you did the right thing. No one gets anything, and you get to have some saving cushion and a little investing. Not the asshole, and don't think twice. Exactly. This is why you don't give the lottery, like they said. If you lose, haha, that's a funny joke. If you win, everybody suddenly thinks they deserve a piece of the pie. Even the people who weren't there. I'm sorry, you weren't there to give the gift, and you're sitting there going, I deserve the money? For one, why the frack are you in this stupid chat to begin with? What part of this do you have? You weren't part of the white elephant. And B, I don't even know if I started with A or B. I'm dork. Nobody could agree that $250 was good enough for them. So, in my opinion, you're not the asshole because nobody could agree. Everyone was being greedy. So, you did the right thing by investing it because investing is good. And you did the right thing by putting some in your savings. In my opinion, your brother is the asshole, not you, because you said, please do not post it. I will let everyone know on my own. And he did it anyway. In that case, he's the dick, not you. Well, in that case, you'd be the asshole because someone commented, my ex-sister-in-law gave me a lottery ticket for my birthday, said, if you win anything, I get half. I just didn't tell her and kept the winnings for myself. Your ex-sister-in-law may have been joking. But anyway, all in all, you're not the asshole. Your family is, because they are being greedy asses, but you're not. You tried. You tried to be fair. So, yeah. In my opinion, I mean, my family is low income. Me and my two girls, the three of us. I wouldn't have even told anyone. I would have put it aside, put some money in the kids' college fund, paid bills that needed to be paid and debts that needed to be paid. Hell, $250,000, I would have found a freaking house. I doubt that would have even been enough. Take my kids on a vacation for once, since I can't afford it normally. And then put some in savings for, a cushion in case I need to fall back. So what you did is no different than what I did, and you don't have half the issues I do, I'm assuming. I'm probably wrong. Who knows? You never know what other people are going through under or behind closed doors. Yeah, your family's a bunch of greedy asses. In my opinion, that's just me. But as they say, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them. Nobody wants to hear it. Next one. Yay! Am I the asshole for upsetting the bride by bringing up concerns about the bachelorette party budget? What? Are you the bride, the bachelor, or not the bachelorette? Are you the maid of honor? Are you paying for the party? Sorry, I was being a thirsty bitch for tea. I am a 25-year-old female. Am a bridesmaid. In my cousin, who is a 26-year-old female, wedding. And we've always been super duper close. I'm thrilled to be part of her big day, and after voicing concerns about the bachelorette party cost, she's upset with me. The party's in Palm Springs. I bought a $480 flight to attend, but at the time, the only detail I knew was the location. No one mentioned how much the trip would cost, and I assumed it would be manageable. 2 days ago, we got a group message with a full cost breakdown. $251 for the Airbnb. A deposit was paid months ago, but I didn't know the price. $130 for a party bus, $80 for the hibachi chef dinner, $50 for groceries and alcohol, plus more for a night out and swag like t-shirts. Altogether, it totaled over $1,000 for each person. There are 10 of us, including the bride. So that's $10,000, $11,000 if there are 10 of you, and it cost everybody $1,000. I saw the message while going through TSA for an all-expense-paid work trip for someone I may work for. You may work for? For context, my boyfriend and I moved in October after his promotion, and while my company let me stay remote, I was laid off shortly after. Money has been tight, so seeing this unexpectedly high cost was stressful. I could attest to that. I mean, that's completely reasonable. I messaged her that same day to open a conversation. Hey, I don't think I can afford going to your bachelorette party. Amanda sent us the budget, and since I was laid off, it's out of my budget. Excuse me. A few minutes later, I added, actually, my dad offered to use miles for my flight, so I'll be going. She didn't reply for 2 days. When she did, her response shocked me. She said my message hurt her feelings and made her feel like I wasn't prioritizing her. She also brought up seeing me post about trips and new computer on Instagram, implying I had the money but didn't want to spend it on her. She said this was a once-in-a-lifetime event, and that my message felt like I didn't care. Her response rubbed me the wrong way. I don't think it's fair for her to judge how I spend money or bring up social media posts without context. The computer was a project I started long before my layoff, but finished a couple days ago. The trips she mentioned were gifts or planned before my layoff. My boyfriend gifted me a San Antonio trip for Christmas, and my family paid for our Disney World trip to celebrate my grandma being tumor-free. Hey, congrats, Grandma! Bravo! She knew the significance of both trips. All I paid for were flights purchased months ago when I was still employed. Okay, that makes sense. I also feel like I wasn't being given enough information to budget properly. I wasn't included in planning, and costs weren't shared until 2 days ago. A heads up would have been a little helpful. I also feel like I wasn't given sorry, I brain farted and read the wrong line. I explained all this in my reply and apologized for my initial message, or for how my initial message came across. I told her I was caught off guard, but still planned to come since my dad was helping with Miles. I haven't heard back yet. I understand the party is important to her, but her response felt self-centered. I get it, she's the bride, but still, that's a little bridezilla-ish. It's unfair to guilt me over how I've managed my money, especially when I've done everything I can to be there. So am I the asshole for bringing up concerns about the budget? Before I go to the comments, I'm going to tell you right now, no. You weren't involved in the planning. They only let you know 2 days ago. You didn't have time to budget. I don't know about her friends or whoever is planning this, but it sounds like your cousin knew you had been laid off. So it's not like they were out of the loop on your planning. And if you started that computer long before that, dude, bravo for building your own computer, because that's what it sounds like. And that's just screwed up. OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the asshole. I think I could be the asshole by the way my initial text came across. I would have called, but she doesn't answer calls. Wording is everything, in my opinion, because I hate answering phone calls. I will make calls if I have to, but I hate it. I would prefer to text. I would prefer to message, whatnot. Wording is everything. Working remotely, I don't know how you do it, but I have worked on online customer service where you are a chat agent and you have to be careful how you word things because you can't be as articulate in message as you can with your voice. Just saying. Someone said, not the asshole. She needs to stop seeing her wedding as everyone else's once-in-a-lifetime event. If you can't afford it, then you can't afford it. Someone else said, yeah, isn't the wedding itself the once-in-a-lifetime event? A $10,000+ bachelorette party is ridiculously extravagant and way too much to expect from people. I bet there is also other once-in-a-lifetime showers, dinners, etc. too. Wedding culture is out of hand. Good on you for standing up to these absurd expectations. I'm so happy for people who tell me they're going to City Hall. Hey, when I got married to my ex-husband, I went to a little chapel thing that was in someone's house. Okay, they had an extra room. They built it up to look like a cute little thing. It had a nice little background. I only paid like $600. My mom helped me, but we only paid like $600. For my bachelorette party, I went to my friend's house. We ate some nachos. We had some drinks. We painted our toenails, and they started watching Game of Thrones, and I went home. That was it. Nobody had to pay anything. Nothing. Well, they had to buy the nachos, but they were going to have nachos that night anyway. So, hey! I'm so happy that bachelorette party trips weren't a thing when I got married. I couldn't imagine asking anyone to spend this kind of money on me. I hate people spending money on me too. So for them to be like, oh yeah, it's a $10,000 trip with $1,000 from everybody. No, fuck you. Yeah, the consensus here is that she's not the asshole. Not the asshole. I can't imagine asking my friends I care about to fork over $1,000 so I can feel important. In fact, I would probably withdraw as a bridesmaid because the relationship is asymmetrical, with you caring about her more than she cares about you. Yeah, no. Honestly, $1K each for a trip like this isn't crazy, especially since half of it is the flight. OP didn't say how many days it was, but it doesn't seem crazy. It does seem how many days it was, but it doesn't seem crazy. That's $9,000. Bet you the bride isn't paying a penny. The thing is, you're saying it isn't crazy to spend $1,000 for each person on a trip, but at the same time, you need to give people at least a month heads up of what the budget is so they have time to plan ahead, not 2 days before. So there's nothing in that budget that covers charges, taxis, Ubers, eating out beyond one meal, drinking out, etc. I have a hard time believing 10 women are traveling to Palm Springs to sit in their Airbnb. You know it'll be several $100s more, plus some depending on how long they're staying. To guilt trip a bridesmaid who just got laid off for not being able to afford a four-figure trip is just disgusting. Girl I knew had a 4-day wedding. It wasn't a destination wedding. She was banging another guy a month later, and 2 years later, he found out she cheated the whole time. I turned off the friendship after that, seeing how selfish she was. She didn't feel bad in the slightest. All in all, you're not the asshole. They should have given you time to plan. They should have given you... they should have given you a heads up. And knowing, I don't know about your cousin or your cousin's friends and the people planning the trip knowing it, but your cousin, knowing that you had gotten laid off, should have been a little more calm and collected about this whole thing. Oh, here's more tea drama. Am I the asshole for telling my friend that it's been years and I don't owe him any money? For one, I don't take money from my friends because of this issue. But let's see. I didn't get a driver's license until I was 17. I'm 30 and I still don't have it, but I do plan to get it soon. Anyway, my hair. Back in freshman year, I had a friend who was a junior who went to my school and lived right next door to me. He would let me hitch a ride to and from school so I wouldn't have to walk. My mom woke up long after school started all the time, and my stepdad was abusive. Ooh, honey. He completely volunteered, and after he graduated a year later, I would take a bus. I'd had a part-time job at that point. Long story short, he's believed that ever since I turned 18, I owed him money for driving. Bitch, wouldn't you have asked for money at the time? Hey, I'm going to be driving you to and from school. The most you could do is pay me some gas money. Just saying. I asked him multiple times how it made sense that since he didn't have to wait for me or drive any extra, plus he volunteered, and he didn't have an answer for me. Of course not, because that would mean he'd have to prove he's wrong. The other day, I had a splitting headache and had just left the doctor's office when my friend called me again and told me that I needed to start paying back the gas money, or else he's adding interest and making me pay more, and that he's been generous. Being tired and nauseous from my headache, I blew up at him. Good for you, Toots. I lost my spot. I said I didn't owe him Jack, and I simply walked to his house when he was ready to drive back, and I was never late out of school, so he didn't have to wait for me. Nor did he ever drive until I'd gotten in the car. So he never picked me up, nor did he ever park in my driveway when dropping me off, and that I was tired of him pestering me for money just for sitting in his car. Literally, you're not going out of your way to drop her to and from school. You are neighbors. You stop your car, he or she gets out, and they walk to their house. After that, he hung up the phone, and now some mutual friends are texting me that I didn't have to be so cruel or harsh, and some friends are even saying that I should pay him to keep the peace. But considering he drove me my whole freshman and sophomore year, it would be a ton of money to pay back. My head is still pounding, and the yelling definitely didn't help. So my husband is currently telling me to lay down, but I just need to know if I'm an asshole or not, because if I am, I'll apologize and pay him. I do certainly have the funds. The OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they are the asshole. I screamed at my friend because he was pestering me for money for something that had happened years ago, and I'm not sure if I'm the asshole or not. Babe, you are not the asshole, not in my opinion. He didn't have to do any extra travel. He didn't have to sit there with his car running. He volunteered. You could have easily taken the bus or walked, and he's the one who was like, oh no, I'll take you. It's all good. He didn't mention when the agreement was made that you needed to pay. He's waiting till now when you have the money to do it. No, you ain't no. Let's see what everyone else says. Not the asshole, or else he's adding interest. He can add whatever he wants to some of money that he will never get. He completely volunteered. Doesn't sound like there was any discussion on gas money, and it's so bizarre he thinks he is owed the money. Just block the dude and move on. That's what I'm saying. They're literally saying almost word for word what I said. And the block friends that are saying OP owes 2 years of gas money, and block the friends that the OP is saying, yeah. No, tell them they owe you 10 cents for every text they send you about it, and give them the total they owe you as of now. Then text them every day saying the more you have to text, the more they owe you, and keep tallying it up. When they say they never agreed to pay, you say, now you know how I feel being told years later that I owe someone gas money. Anyways, just pay me all the money and keep peace. Basically, turn it on them. Hell, I'd be pettier than that and be like, yeah, for the headache that I had that you made worse, you now get to pay my doctor bills. Yeah, that's another thing I was thinking. So this person says he obviously thought he'd eventually get ass. Now he's trying to get her to pay for gas. She can tell him to go kick grass. Yeah, he essentially thought you were gonna bang him, and that's why he offered. And now that he's not getting jack because you married, he's like, oh, well, now she deserves to pay me. You mean he's trying to get him to pay for gas? According to another post that they made, OP is a 35-year-old man. So let them be a 35-year-old man. The cash grass or ass, nobody rides for free bumper stickers were around in the 70s. My friend called me again, told me they need to start paying back gas money or else adding interest. Tell him his lawyer can contact your lawyer, not the asshole. Yeah. Not the asshole. The only reason he drove you is because he wanted to bang you. And now that he knows for sure that isn't going to happen, he wants recompensation. He wasn't your friend then, and he definitely isn't now. You owe him nothing, and not even the time of day. He should have figured out long ago that he wasn't getting to bang OP. OP is now 35 or 36. He was 35 in a post he made 9 months ago. Married man. He's been with his husband for 17 years. Good job for the 17 years. Not the asshole. Tell him you're more than willing to go into small claims court to sort it out. That usually costs about $50 depending on where you are from, assuming US. Since there was never any verbal or written agreement for payment, your friend will lose. Sounds like he needs money and hoping to shake some out of you. Yep, the statute of limitations is long since passed, even if there is a valid agreement. Plus, minor can't enter into a legal agreement or legal contract in most places, assuming this is the US. Yeah, no, you're not the asshole. I don't give a hell what they're saying. All right, guys, so that's been our little Reddit thing. Let me know if you liked it. Put it down in the comments. Just say, hey, this sounded like fun. Otherwise, I'm not going to continue this because whatever. By the way, Happy New Year, everyone. It's 2025. I have plans. I have a whole list of things I plan to do this year. Hopefully it will get better. I've got, yeah. Anyway, I have been Dee. You know what? Talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.